Hey world, it's Ben. Want to come back with another video. But I want to come back with this video because if a lot of you guys, have been watching the television or been kind of, you know, staying on top of the news politically, then you know that there's a guy by the name of Bloomberg that's running for president on the Democratic side. Now this cat will be comparable to Donald Trump in the sense where he's a billionaire. If the name sounds familiar, if you've been paying yourself first and been doing your research on investing, then you've probably been watching the television channel Bloomberg Television, and it's a 24-hour financial newsreel dealing with the economy, dealing with the stock market, dealing with the global markets, all financial information that you could ever want to know about. You can watch it on Bloomberg. It's the ESPN of finance and investing. Okay. And so that's his channel. He's running for president now. And just a little historical analysis or information about this cat. When he was a political official in New York, I think he was a mayor, he instituted what they call the stop and frisk. Now, if you never heard of that rule, just do your research and find out who was affected by that rule. And there were many, many young men, just being basically harassed, by, any means necessary. I mean, cops had carte blanche to just stop and frisk anybody they want. And of course, if you do your research, you'll see what in the particular demographic of people that affected the most. All right. And so with so many Afro-melanated young men being, wrongly incarcerated, wrongly stopped and frisked, that was under Bloomberg, which he later apologized for. Now, I think it's quite interesting that, I can't understand why so many, people that's in the religious congregation as pastors and reverends or whatever, how they're so forgiving. And I don't mean, when I mean by forgiving, I think it's important to forgive, but there should be some action behind apologies. You dig? Bloomberg apologized for the stop and frisk law that he implemented, and so many pastors are, know about the stop and frisk, but said that was big on him, and felt, that it was okay that an apology was accepted, and the apology was, that was all that was needed. Me personally, I think if he was really sincere about, instituting such a law that was so obviously geared toward a particular demographic, there should be some type of financial restitution behind it. Anyone and everyone that was stopped and frisked and arrested, for no reason should receive some type of financial restitution. That to me would be really a form of apology that had some type of substance behind it. All right. And like I say, he's running on the platform of trying to improve Social Security. Now, these cats are older as well. These are senior citizens as well. I mean, if you look at their ages. And I think it's quite ironic, and I think it's quite disingenuous for these presidential candidates, which are in their late 60s and 70s, running on the platform of improving Social Security when they know they're not going to do it. Okay? Because, see, when they don't have to live on the same Social Security benefits that most of the masses, 69 million people, have to live off of, then it's easy for them to want to talk about changing laws about Social Security. But look about this, family. If they really wanted to change the laws of Social Security, they would write a law and change it. I mean, right now, on average, not average, but the cutoff is like 7.6% that you can contribute to your Social Security benefit, retirement benefits. Now, if you're working, that's all you can do. I think it's 6.7% plus another 1.3% for Medicare. But that's no money. You know what I mean? And so for the high income earners, yes, they would benefit from it because they have more money of that 6% going towards Social Security. But if you're a low income earner, then your Social Security benefits are going to be a lot lower. But imagine if they started to just change the law, instituted a process where you could have a higher amount of your money going towards Social Security. 20%, 25%, 15%. Why is it capped off at 6.7%? And then we're told that it won't be there someday. I think that's disingenuous. So Bloomberg, Put your money where your mouth is. All these ads you're talking about, it doesn't mean anything without action. All right? I mean, if you want to change Social Security laws, I mean, Trump said he was going to do it. Did he do it? No. Trump said he was going to also bring down, the price of prescription drugs. Did he do it? No. What actually happened, the price of insulin went up. And so when you're a senior citizen and you're dependent on your Social Security benefits to survive, you got to realize, most individuals depend on like 33% of their Social Security is needed every month. I mean, so when you start talking about taxing Social Security, that's outlandish. Think about this for a minute, fam. This has to be cognitive dissonance. How can you work for 30 years and with your wages, they were taking 6.7% of your check every month, every year, right? 6.7% of your check every year for your Social Security. So you got this amount of money, which should have been compounding interest, mind you, right there at that. So when you get 66, 67 years old, you have all this money, right? And then you're trying to tell me on average, it's only $1,400 a month. And at the highest end is $3,300 a month in these times and these prices. And so what most senior citizens have to do, they have to get a job. But think how crazy this is, family. And Bloomberg, Trump, any of these cats running for president, if you want to really help senior citizens, if you want to really do something, genuinely from the heart, you will never tax Social Security. How are you going to tax a person's money 3 times over? The tax on federal income, the tax when at the end of the year, and then that tax again with Social Security. And how they tax, family? Remember, a lot of people can't survive off $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month. So they have to get another job. But think about if they get a job making over $25,000 a year, the government going to tax their Social Security 50%. What? And if they making over $34,000, $35,000 a year, the government going to tax their Social Security 85%. And so now you're talking about a situation where, to try to make ends meet, that $1,100 not enough, $1,200 not enough. You get a job and you're making $25,000 a year extra. Then they're going to tax your Social Security 50%. So now instead of getting $1,200 a month, you're going to get $600 a month. What is that? And if you're making if you're fortunate enough to get you a job, someone hires you and they pay you $35,000, $36,000 a year, well, they're going to tax your Social Security 85%. Babe, come on, man. Does that make sense? So I promise you, if any of these presidential candidates had to live off Social Security like most of the masses, the law would have been changed a long time ago. So family, Bloomberg, let me see what you're talking about, which we know is nothing. Trump, nothing. All of these cats, Warren, Bernie's, Buttigieg, all of them, they don't live the way we have to live. So it's easy for them to get on a soapbox and talk about what they're going to do, and they never do. Actions speak louder than words. You dig? Family, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to videos. And in the meantime, between time, family, may the Most High Society bring you joy. And I hope you liked the last video about Valentine's Day, family, because a lot of times it's very important to know where a lot of this stuff is coming from. Okay? A lot of these pagan holidays coming from Rome, family. But we don't even know where we're from. Bean Willie's out of 5,000.